It was Philip Pullman that said, after nourishment, shelter, and companionship, stories are the things we need most in the world. And with that, we welcome you to another edition of My Educational Story, a podcast series brought to you by Hybrid Academy TV, where we get to discuss inspiring educational stories of Jambites, graduates, and undergraduates. I'm your host, Zainab Olanrewaju. Today, I have an exceptional guest with me who is going to take us through his academic journey. But before I introduce him, let's go on a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. And if you're just joining us, this is My Educational Story, a podcast series where we discuss inspiring educational stories. Our guest for today is Akinola Emmanuel, a graduate of accounting from the Federal University of Technology, AKURE, and also a front-end developer. Hello, Emmanuel. Thank you for being here today.
It's really, really nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, can you tell us more about yourself?
Well, like your writer said, my name is Akinola Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm.
I am an accountant from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, as where I graduated from. I'm a Yoruba-born Nigerian. I'm from Akakuko town in Ondo State.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm an accountant, like I said, and I'm also a front-end developer, like you have rightly introduced. Yeah.
So, what inspired you to pursue a career in accounting?
Well, that's a very long story. That's a very long story because, you know, there are a lot of things. When I was young, I actually wanted to be a front end. I said front end. I wanted to become a zoologist. Sorry. I wanted to become a zoologist. I had the flair for animals. I loved animals. I don't know why. I just liked having,
Animals.
yes, I
Hey.
love dogs. Like really. But then my dad sat me down, told me about the career paths in Nigeria, whether it's feasible, whether it's something that can turn into money. Because it's one thing to be passionate about something,
Yes.
and then to be able to now translate that into something that you can now generate money from. So having to sit down and realize, okay, and my dad is a chartered accountant, so I just dived into that naturally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about your JAMB journey, like your experience when you were doing JAMB?
That's another long story. Another long story.
Another long story. Make it short.
Because I wrote JAM twice, actually. Oh. The first time I wrote JAM was when I was in school. I went to boarding school, Babinti Macaulay Junior Seminary, that's BMGS. And after the whole WAEC, I went for JAM, and then I scored 191, if I can remember. Hey. 191 in JAM. And honestly, my whole story, I've actually been an average student. I didn't really have any spectacular, educational aspect. But then I came to hybrid, and it really turned my life around. Basically, really, I really had a different experience doing JAM. I saw people that were reading for hours. And I just started to more ginger, that kind of ginger. Then, so it was really a wonderful experience having to spend time in hybrid, and it turned my life around basically.
Okay, so I want you to talk more about how hybrid influenced your educational story.
Hybrid did a lot. Hybrid did a lot. I remember I came to hybrid for the first time when I was in SS2.
Okay.
Closely about 7 years ago. I was writing GC that time. And I remember I had a friend then. It was me and Richard. We were very, very close that time. We prepared for GC together. So having to now come for JAM, we now met again together. So it was a flow. But by that time when I came in February. Okay. By that time I came, he was already here. So he had friends. He had people that they've already started reading for a long time. He had reading partners. Wow. So when I came to hybrid, I met a lot of people that were reading. They were actively involved. They were asking questions that, we have exponents. We have, what's this man's name? I've forgotten his name. But the one I teaches economics. Sajonas, yes, I remember. Okay. So you asked a lot of questions on government and economics, and I did not know jack. I did not know. I did not know jack. So and after like I think every Friday we used to have pop
Yeah.
questions every time, and out of 10, I was scored 2, 3. It
Hmm.
was embarrassing. Me that I felt like I came from a very prestigious secondary school. It was bad. But then having to sit down with that kind of family, that kind of people, like
Mm-hmm.
we sat down together, we joined heads together, and I picked up fast. Within a month, I had to go back to like SS1, and I
Wow.
read everything. I was going through government, economics, accounting, and then it really turned my life around. Having to sit down with those people that were in the same kind of mindset,
Mm-hmm.
they were pursuing the same set. That's another thing I'll talk about.
Yeah.
The same set of goals. If you have people that are pursuing the same set of goals, it really changes your mind and it helps you to align yourself properly. So I had that. I can say that I had that. I had the likes of Victoria. We had two of them. Victoria Senwodo. We had Victoria. That's CNN. We had another Victoria. We had Yomi for maths. We had Toby. We had a lot of people. We were plenty, and it was really an experience. It was a very
Wow.
great experience. Yeah, that's it.
So when you were in school, did
Mhm.
you like have any kind of challenges, whatever?
Is it university?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a lot of challenges in school. Maybe because I was used to, having that group, that kind of group. That was the first thing I actually looked for when I got to school. I started to look for like minds, people that wanted to soar
So
in,
you could study
yeah,
together.
study together.
Mm-hmm.
First thing I was looking for, I approached some of my friends, but it seemed like we had a lot of issues, so we could not. So I didn't find that. I didn't find that because I was used to that in hybrid.
Yeah.
We basically in hybrid we will read for a long time. We'll go and buy bread and beans, bread and beans, and we'll come back and then we'll play Scrabble for
Mm-hmm.
long hours. Then after like evening, when we get to evening class, because
Yeah.
we start from 8 in the morning and we stop reading at 8 in the evening. So by evening class we start reading again.
Yeah.
So I had that kind of mindset. So when I got to university, it was hard to find that. It was hard to find that. That was the first challenge. And then a lot of when you get to like 200 level, 300 level, you're already looking at money. You're looking at, okay, how can I get money? So to help myself in school because you have a lot of projects to do.
Yeah.
So that was another challenge financially. There were challenges, and I had a lot of activities likewise
Mm-hmm.
because school is a lifestyle.
Yeah,
When you
it
get to
is.
university, it's a lifestyle. So you have to engage in other activities apart from education,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was those were the major challenges I had.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you talked about sitting for jam twice. I
Mhm.
would like want you to talk more about it.
Well, I sat for jam twice. Like I said, the first time I scored 191 in
Mm-hmm.
jam, and the second time I scored 244 in jam. That was after hybrid. There was
Yeah.
pre-hybrid and after hybrid. So before hybrid, like I said, I was an average student. I didn't really
Mm-hmm.
know much. I didn't really know much. But then you feel like Jagaban when you're in school. But when you now, and I got to another space where
Mm,
people were actually they were rugged about education. Like
mm,
they were seriously passionate about it. So when I got there, I figured out that I didn't really know much. I didn't really know anything. So when I got to hybrid, I met people that were actively involved. I met people studying maths like it was they were going to die there. You know, I met people studying government, pali to pali, back to back.
wow.
So it was serious. It was very serious. We had to start learning history and all those kind of things. So it really drove me, honestly, passionately drove me. I would read. I think that's the longest time I read. I read during that period. I read for a long time.
Wow.
I read. I've never done 8 to 8 reading.
Hey.
Before that time, I've never had anything like 8 to 8. I was not a person that you could sit down and then
Mm-hmm.
I would just be reading throughout. I have a short attention span.
Yeah.
So during that time, I now learned that I could actually sit down and study
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy it. I could enjoy studying.
So
I,
you enjoyed it from the beginning,
I,
like, or
I
you had
breathe.
you didn't have any difficulty reading, like from the beginning,
From the
no?
onset, I did. From the onset, I did.
Okay. So
But
how
then
how did you like tackle that difficulty?
that's one of the things that helped was having a family,
Okay.
friends that had like minds. So you could sit down and then you are studying and then someone just bring up a question. I'm like,
Mm.
I don't know anything. Like I don't know anything. You now go and check the textbook. You figure it out together. You
Yeah.
bring past questions. You solve. We solve past. Kai. We solve past questions like back. I think we took 10 years We took 10 years. I think it was around, we started, JAM was 2015 when I did
Mhm.
JAM, 2015, 2014, 15. So we went 10 years back.
Oh.
So all the questions from 10 years back, all the past questions, we went tackling everyone. So, you just say a question and like, I've solved this thing before. Let me go back again and check the topic. So together we had that kind of drive. We had that kind of drive. That's what made me enjoy. It was relational. It was
So how
interactive.
did
It
you
was
feel when
free.
you saw your jam score?
Ah, no, actually, I actually felt bad. I actually did feel bad because when I go home, the first my daddy asked me was, "How was jam?" I was like, because I felt like I dusted it, and I saw 244. Like, that's not my result. That's not my result. And then when I came to hybrid, I was the least among my friends.
I
Really,
had 244.
yeah, I had 244, and I was like, well, I did maths. They did not do maths. but really, that was it. That was it. That was the experience. It was really awesome. It was really awesome.
Okay. So thank you for staying tuned. We'll be back after a short break. Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. And if you're just joining us, this is my educational story, a podcast series where we discuss inspiring educational stories. Our guest, Akinola Emmanuel, is still with me in the studio, and so far, he has talked about his academic journey. So, tell us about your life after school.
Well, life after school has not been easy. Basically, it has not been easy because you are moving from a dependent mindset
Hmm.
to an independent mindset. So you are going to be standing on your own. So having to leave that parents nurturing, helping
Yes.
you to now finding money by yourself is quite difficult. It's a whole change, and there's nothing that's going to prepare you for that.
So,
There's
does that
no.
mean school na scam?
I did not say that. I did not say that. But
Okay.
nothing's going to prepare you for that. Like there's no prior education. There's nothing. But to now change your mind that okay, now I'm now an independent being. I have to start sourcing for funds. I have to start. My dreams is mine to. It's my responsibility to pursue my own reality. So what I want to, you have to first find out what you want in the next few years.
Yeah.
That kind of 5-10 years
Yes,
target.
yes.
So what I want to become, and then start actively pursuing it. I call it personal branding. You have to start
Yeah.
actively pushing for it and trying to achieve it. So you have to define the characters of what you okay. I want to be an objective person. You have to start defining all those things and start pursuing them. So life after school actually, I've been able to define what I want, and I've been laying the necessary steps to also achieve that. That's where you now see some transition in coming in. Yeah.
So when you were in school, like, did you like solely focus on school? Like, you didn't engage in extracurricular activities?
I did. I engaged in a lot of activities. One thing that is very objective about me, I'm a spiritual person, very, very, very
Okay.
actively. So I was always in church boy, like triangle lifestyle. That was my lifestyle. I go from church to school to my house. So I did a lot of activities. I learned a lot of skills. I did graphics design. One of the things
Okay.
that I've learned about myself is that I like to be creative.
Okay.
That's another thing that every youth should learn to do within that beginning stage. From that teenager age, is not the age to catch cruise. You understand?
True.
You must learn to figure out who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned very, very within a very early stage that I was a very creative person. I could, if you give me a problem, the first thing I'm thinking about is how to solve it. So I have a creative mind, I have a creative thinking. So that is how I have always been. So when I learned that, I started to dive into everything creativity.
Yeah.
I write. That's another aspect. I write poems. I go into technical writing. I also design because
Okay.
those are aspects of creativity. So I also design, and that was what eventually led me to front end development. Yeah.
So that front end developer, I want you to talk more about it. I want
Yeah.
to know. How
Yeah.
you left account, or is it that you left accounting
No,
to
I,
listen? Or
I didn't leave accounting. Accounting there's a part, a category where finance meets with technology. It's
okay,
called the fintech. So that is where I'm actively pursuing. I've been
okay,
able to define that and find that. But then the transition was actually was not easy to find. I
mm,
was also always doing creative things, like
okay,
I was doing a lot of creative things. I was engaged, but then I now figure out, I found out that apart from being a creative person,
yeah,
I was a logical thinker. I love to,
okay,
like I said, solve problem.
mm-hmm.
That's what eventually led me to tech. And when I found that out, I started to ask questions. Once you have a career, you always go and seek mentors to ask questions from.
True,
So
true.
I went to go and ask from other people that were also in that career. I was able to get a foundation. So when I got a foundation into tech, I started to build up from. So now we are still building. We are still learning how to. I'm still learning how it goes. Yeah,
So do you think tech is the hit now? Like,
tech is the trend now.
yeah,
But I think most that are coming into it they are the aftermath. They are coming after the big bang. You
the
understand?
money.
They are reacting. It's more like it's not a proactive mindset. You understand? So people
Mhm.
that are coming in right now, they are just reacting because they've eventually seen that tech is the boom. So everybody are now trying to jump into it. But I think those that actually achieved from tech were those that
Yeah.
knew earlier
Yes, that's true.
and saw the trend, and they were able to enter it and then build up from it. But still, tech is still bringing in money for as many persons that are interested, and and tech is a growing aspect, so it's still very much growing. Yeah.
Okay, so for now,
Mhm.
which one are you focusing on now? Is it accounting or front end developing?
All right.
Which one?
Right now I'm an accountant, but I'm learning more about front end,
Okay.
of which I'll still learn more later on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for now, I'm a financial accountant of a company at somewhere around Ajigunle side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actively working as a financial accountant. I'm working as an
Okay.
accountant, and still I'm pursuing my career in tech. Yes, that's the best I can answer that question.
So, what advice do you have for Jambite?
Wow, that's a very big one.
Because these days
That's
it's
a,
like
that's a very
students
big
are
one.
not ready to learn.
Yes, yes. I really, if they actually listen closely, they would have actually picked up a lot of things from what I said.
Yeah.
Um, One thing about people is you can't do it on your own.
True.
Find people that have the same mindset as you do. It's very important.
Emphasis on positive mindset.
Yes. You must find those that are actively ready to pursue what you are doing. They have the same mindset. They're
Yeah.
actually doing what you're doing. So it's very important to find that. When you find that, then you can now, it will be easy to guard your environment. You'll be able to pursue the same things. Because eventually when you are tired, Bible says iron sharpeneth iron. So they'll be able to help you.
Yeah.
You understand? They will put you through. So one thing about I should tell Jambites, don't stay alone. Don't learn alone. Don't be I can stay in my parlor and learn the whole of calculus. It's not possible. So find a place whereby you can have the same environment of people that are actually pursuing what you are pursuing. If the academic success, then find a place. And that kind of place, I really recommend IB. IB is the kind of place where you can find those people that can help you grow and pursue what you want to achieve. Yeah.
So I would want you to like talk more about, there are students that don't have, like, it's not as if they don't want to learn, but they
Yeah.
don't just have the strength to sit and read. Like you said, I think you had challenge with that too.
Mhm.
So I want you to, is there something you think they can do to like
Yeah, basically, if you have a challenge reading, if you have a very short life attention span like I do, um there are different ways to read. Yeah, you must learn yourself, find out, go and observe yourself. So what are those things that you, for me now, I prefer sitting down watching videos. I find it more engaging. So if I have a question on calculus, I call YouTube is my friend. I just
Okay.
instantly go to YouTube. Check if I don't understand it from a textbook, because I feel textbook are boring sometimes. Very boring. Especially when I'm reading Nigerian
can
textbooks,
relate.
very boring. So find out the kind of way you read. If you're a morning person, I'm a morning person. If I want to solve anything, I do it in the morning. So wake up early in the morning around 4 or 5. I sit down, I study, and probably late at night. So find out your rhythm. It's about you. Nobody's going to help you read. So find out
True,
your
true.
own flow. So
Yeah.
and you are unique. That's another thing that I should tell
Yes.
everybody. You are unique. You are a unique person. So don't always try and copy everybody. Don't try and copy everybody. So find out your own pace and flow in it. Yeah, that's my advice to those that are possible.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
It's really, really nice to be here.
So we have come to the end of today's edition. Follow us on our social media channels to get more educating and entertaining educational stories. Till then, stay safe. Bye.